Start with the unit number 4, that is query processing and optimization. As I said you earlier, the next 3 units are more of a theoretical nature, so we are going to cover them faster. And again, I am repeating that we don't know how much time is left for you to finish up this syllabus and appear for exam. So we'll go a little in a faster way. Probably for next few topics, I may be giving you some PDF notes or some recorded lectures and try to cover the syllabus as early as possible. So the next topic of our discussion is query processing and optimization. So till now we have written number of queries using SQL, using relational algebra, and try to question the database and try to retrieve some information. Now we'll see how those queries are processed. Rather, if you look at SQL or any high level query language, it is nothing but the it is nothing but your what I can say is a small program which need to be managed, which need to be compiled, and then we are going to get the output. If you remember, in the introductory lectures, we have seen the architecture of DBMS, where different types of users are submitting the queries to the database with in different manner, and they are getting processed to get the output in the physical from the physical storage. So that was the architecture of DBMS. Now we are going to see how these individual queries are processed and rather optimized for better resource utilization. Okay. uh, when we have gone through different constructs in SQL, so we have seen the select from where clause. Along with that, we have seen the nested queries, Cartesian product, your join operations. All operations are can be used to write a query, and also they may be used together or may be sometimes used as an alternate for each other. So the same query can be written using join, can be used written using Cartesian product, or can be used or written using nested query. So ultimately, same query can be written in different way, but every construct has its own way of executing that query in the backend. So when we are talking about Cartesian product, can someone tell about Cartesian product? If you remember, what is a Cartesian product? I'm expecting the answer. Anyone can give, except I want. I'll suggest Akshay. You don't give the answer. Kartika, you don't give the answer. Anyone else, or even Sanket, you don't give the answer. What do you mean by Cartesian product? We have seen in the case of.
Sir, an answer.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Sir, the cross product of two rows or columns.
Two,
Rows or column.
two rows or columns. No, elaborate a bit. Elaborate a bit.
Uh, Sir, like if there is one row name, there is one column name,
Uh,
and one more column is there roll number.
uh,
So during क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट वी कैन सर जैसे एक फर्स्ट नेम जो है उसके साथ में जितने सारे रोल नंबर्स है उनका डाटा आएगा, उसके बाद में सेकंड नेम के साथ में सारे रोल नंबर्स, उसको क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट बोलते हैं.
okay. Anyone else like to answer? I think the concept is clear with Mayank, but is not able to explain it properly. Anyone else?
So when a row is table, like particular column, particular row is multiplied with the row of other table.
Okay. Yes. Every row of first table will be multiplied with all the other all the rows from other table. Okay. So Cartesian product means we are forming the cross product where every row will be multiplied with all the rows in the next table, and all the columns from one table, first table and second table will be added together. Okay. So that's a Cartesian product, and when you use or list out more than one relations in the from clause, ultimately you are forming the Cartesian product of it. Okay, you are forming the Cartesian product of it. Now I'll again ask, what do you mean by a join? Join function. What do you mean by join operation? Yes, anyone can answer, except the people who have answered just now and the people I have named. And not only those, we have many people who were continuously answering, but I want the answers from speaking people. Shruti was there who used to answer. So was Vaibhavi, Abhishek. People were answering. I want other people to answer.
Sir, it combines data from two or more tables.
Huh? In what way it combines? There is if I am saying that Cartesian product also combines the data from two tables. Is there any particular observation about join?
So I guess it joins in one single statement.
One single statement for what? Using what it will do? Yes.
Using primary key and foreign key, it's join two tables.
It joins two tables, so a primary key and foreign key.
Or foreign key, yes.
No, not exactly. It means applying Cartesian product by imposing equality on common attributes. Yes, Nishita. This is what I told in the video. I think I posted a video regarding join relation. I don't remember. It was a live lecture or a video. Yes, it was. She has written in chat. Others can also. It is just a Cartesian product, but by imposing equality on the common attributes. Means by default we are imposing equality on the attributes. Okay, so join is rather an advanced form of you can say Cartesian product, in which we are imposing the equality by default on the common attributes, or if it is a natural join, or if it is an inner join, or we can mention on which attribute you want to impose the equality option. So we have seen natural join, inner join, and outer join. These are the three types of join operations. Those who have not understood, I request you to go through the videos once again, because you don't take it as granted कि भाई ऑनलाइन ही एग्जाम होने वाला है और जैसे थर्ड सेम का ऑब्जेक्टिव टाइप हुआ वैसे ही हम लोग अभी भी पास हो जाएंगे. इट इज इजी टू सी और इजी टू रादर एक्सपीरियंस, कंफर्टेबल टू एक्सपीरियंस दैट चलो आसानी से पास हुए जा रहे हैं हम लोग पिछले 2 सेमेस्टर से या 3 सेमेस्टर से, बट it will not be helpful for you longer. Studies cannot be skipped. ठीक है, शॉर्टकट में हम लोग काफी शॉर्टकट्स यूज कर सकते हैं ऑनलाइन एग्जाम्स में. आई नो दैट, एंड इट इज कंपैरेटिवली इजी टू गेट पास थ्रू दिस काइंड ऑफ अप्रोच ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन, बट स्टडीज और knowledge cannot be skipped. Try to gain knowledge. You have time. You are spending a lot of time on web series. So similarly, you can also spend some time on studies, going through these videos. If you are not understanding these videos, go through the other videos which are available on internet. So try to gain the knowledge. Do not just get connected and waste your 3 or 4 hours daily to just keep connected with the faculties or in the classroom. Be attentive. Most of you are attentive, but it will not be reflected unless until you interact or you answer back. Okay, you should answer for the questions, then only it is understood that yes, you are getting or understanding whatever you are learning. Okay. So when we talk about query processing, we can write the query, same query in different manner, and we definitely get to know many different types of approaches, which may be different at the back end, but ultimately are going to give you the same output. So query processing, which we are going to see, is okay. Can anyone tell me what are the if I am compiling a program? What are the stages in a compilation of program? You are learning SS, so it is not an old thing I am asking you. I am asking you a very new and approachable thing. So what are the steps in executing a program? You are when you try to write a program or execute a program, what are the steps we are taking to execute a program? You are learning system software. Every step in that you are learning. Yes. This is a very basic question which we already learned in PMDS. Yes, anyone can answer. Anyone new person can answer. Any new person can answer. Yes. When you execute a program, a normal C program, what are the steps taken into consideration to execute the program completely? Means from the when you submit the code and you get the output. What are the steps or what are the system programs under execution? Yes, no one has the answer. Yes. Shubhi, you wait. Shubhi, you wait. I know you know the answer. So, I know you know the answer, but I want everyone other. If you are not answering, I'll call a name. Shall I call the names one by one? You want me to do that? Pre-processing, compiling, assembling, and linking. Okay. In compilation, what happened? Yes, Harsh has said that we pre-process the program so that we get the extended source code. Then we compile it to get the assembly language code. Then we assemble it to get the machine language code, that is the lower language code, and then we link. Before actually linking happens at the type of compilation only. We link the program to the various header files or not header files, the dynamic link libraries, and then we assemble it for the lower level code. And then that will be that is a processor, that is the machine understandable code. Yes, what happens in compilation?
So we convert the code into object code.
Yes, we convert the object code into object code, but there are steps of compilation also. So the very first thing, when you try to compile a program, you either get the program executed or you get the errors. Okay. When you get the errors, actually those errors are listed. These errors may be of different types. The error may be of syntactical error, that means you might have not written the syntax correctly. Semantical error, may be a confusion in the understanding of that expression, and then you may get a linking error. You may get some conversion error, data error. These kind of different errors will appear in front of you. Okay. So first of all, whenever the program is submitted to the compiler, its syntax and semantics are checked, those syntax and semantics are corrected, and then the program will be submitted to the uh, further processing, and then the program will be broken into smaller expressions, smaller parts. If you are writing a is equal to b plus c, c need to be brought, b need to be brought, then plus that is addition operation is performed, then the resultant is assigned to a. These are the 5 steps which will be taken into uh, simple a is equal to b plus c operation. Okay. So similarly, when a query is written, all these kind of processes will be taking place. So query processing is a translation of high level language queries into a low level expression. Okay, but it is not only that, but it has further few more steps. So SQL is a higher level language, and low level language is a machine understandable language, okay, which will interact with the physical schema. It is a stepwise process that can be used at the physical level of the file system. Query optimization and actual execution of query to get result. Try to get the result. It requires the basic concept of relational algebra and file structure. You know the relational algebra and file structure you have already studied as a complete subject. So you know it already. It refers to a range of activities that are involved in extracting data from the databases. So all these activities we are going to learn step by step. It includes the translation of query in high-level database language into expressions that can be implemented at the physical level of the file system. So the minimum tree we are going to follow, or expression we are going to write, it will give all these things to you. And we will actually understand how these queries are processed and how they are optimized. So optimization is also an important part in this case. Why we need to optimize? As we said earlier, that same query can be written in number of ways. So when you are using join operation instead of Cartesian product, or you are using nested queries instead of Cartesian product, you have already optimized the intermediate result. Okay, that is at the user level or administrator level. What happens at the systems level? It also try to optimize that, because see, whatever we are talking about or we are constructing is a very small database of 10-15 entries. But database will not be used for such a small cases. Database system, whole system is designed only if you have thousands of entries coming into that database. Then only it makes sense to design such a huge DBMS and operate on that. So while doing this, we also need to take care that whenever we are firing a query, the intermediate results which are getting produced should not be very huge and should not consume whole amount of buffer available with us and hang the program. Okay? So we also take care that while executing a query, while processing a query, that must be optimized. That means the minimum amount of data need to be fetched or generated as the intermediate result. Okay, so that also we are going to concentrate on. So what are the steps in query processing? First of all, you validate and translate the query, whether it is a proper syntax or not, whether all the relations which are mentioned in that are in existence and in proper format or not, and then you are going to translate the SQL query into a relational algebra. Now you have understood, we are not directly putting the relational algebra, but SQL query, every SQL query is converted into a relational algebra expression, because that algebra expression will be possible for us to actually optimize. Okay, then second step will be optimize it, make it optimize it so that it will make run faster. Sometimes some operations can be parallelly performed, so that time can be saved. And lastly is we are going to evaluate it. Evaluate it means we are going to choose some evaluation plan which will be faster and better as far as the resource consumptions are concerned. So these are the basic steps of your query execution, query processing. In this, you are going to write a query which will be in SQL. Generally, we are understanding that this query will be in SQL or any other higher level language. To name few are SQL is one of them, QL, QBE are other languages or other tools which also fall under higher level language. Okay, so SQL is you are going to write a query into SQL and then we are going to put it for parsing and translating. Okay, so what do you mean by parsing? Have you heard of the word parse tree? You are forming an expression tree, you have heard of. Okay, so in that when I am saying A is equal to B plus C divided by D. Okay, if I am having this expression, I am going to construct a tree in this way. C will be okay. Not here. So C will be brought first. Parallelly, D will also be brought. The operation division will be performed. At the same level, B will be fetched. Operation plus will be performed, and which will be submitted to A. So this kind of tree will be formed. In this, what we are getting at the first level, what operation we need to perform? Bring C and D. In second level, get the result of C divided by D and fetch B. Okay. Value to the value. From lower, you are going to start to reach the higher one. So this is called as a parse tree. In this case, what we can do is we could have brought C separately and D separately. That is also valid. But the operations can be performed simultaneously. Where you are performing the division operation on C and D, at the same moment you can fetch B. So in that level, two operations are performed. The resultation of C oblique D and B is performed, and then they will be brought together by the plus operation. This is called as a parse tree. Okay, if this is a known word to you, if you remember. So this way the parsing is done. Why we are converting into a parse tree or parsing is we'll be able to get the proper order or sequence of mini operations or minor operations to be performed during execution. And then we translate it. Here also we check whether the syntax and semantics is correct. And what we do in translation, we translate it to a RA expression, relational algebra expression. The SQL query will be converted into a algebraic expression form. Okay, and that relational algebra can be easily executed, can be easily formed. So then we have an optimizer, which will optimize the relational algebra expression. Then we have an execution plan. Execution plan which is available with us will be taken like let us say that you want to come to the college from your home. Okay, you are coming to the college to your home. There are a number of plans you may be having. Either you will take up a college bus which is coming nearby to your place, and you are coming to the college. You may opt for a city bus and you can come to the college. You may use your own bike. You may have a cab booked. You may have a pool transport. You may come on a bike. You may come on a cycle. You even can walk to the college. These are number of plans available. But if you are finding a comfort, better you will pay for the college bus and will come by the college. If you want to save money, you will come by the city bus. If you have a bike and you are comfortable riding that bike to this distance daily, you can opt for a bike. You can, if you want to go with your friends, you can pull a car or pull a transport. Okay? If you have a lot of time, then you can walk to the college. These are different execution plan, and one of the plan you are going to execute as per your cost. This cost may be time, cost may be comfort, cost may be money you want to spend. Okay, this cost can be of any form. Depending on that cost, you are going to choose an execution plan, and you are going to evaluate, execute that execution plan using the evaluation engine. And this you are going to get the output of the query. So these are the basic execution or processing steps of a query. Here two things are taken into consideration. One is your statistics about data, which will help you to optimize the plan. Statistics about the data means how much time you are going to take to retrieve the data, what space it will take, what amount of data will be fetched, and all things. And second is the actual data with which you are dealing, which will be in the evaluation engine. Okay, so the data, that is metadata, and data also takes part in this basic steps of query processing. The same is represented in a different form of diagram. I just read out the steps. The first step is to transform the query into a standard form. Standard form is the relational algebra. The query is transferred into SQL and from SQL into a relational algebraic expression. During this process, parser changes the syntax, verifies the relation and the relations and attributes which are to be used in the query, whether they are in existence or not, they are properly defined or not, the tables are properly normalized or not. It will verify all those things. Then the query optimizer is the second step. In this, it transfers the query into an equivalent expression that is more efficient to execute. Okay, optimized expression will be formed. The same array will be optimized to form a better expression or efficient expression to execute. And lastly, we go for query evaluation. It executes the above query execution plan and results and returns the result. The previous diagram was more elaborative. Here we are broadly classified it into three parts, that is translation, parsing and translation, optimization and evaluation. Okay, so these are the three things query processing has. But if you are asked a question to draw a diagram for it, then you better go for this diagram, and this explanation can help you. Okay, so this is what your query processing. These are your query processing steps. Is it clear? Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
We will go for some translation. What's the time? We have time. I don't think we need to spend much time on that. You know, translation. This is a SQL query, and this is its equivalent array expression. Okay, where just to remind, select will be your sigma symbol, where the sigma symbol will have. Select will be your project symbol. Your where will be your sigma symbol, and from will be your the list of relations in the bracket. Okay. Now you need to represent this as a tree. You need to represent this as a tree. So what first thing we are going to do is we are going to fetch account into picture. Then we need to apply a condition, that is balance is less than 2500. So only those tuples from account will be listed. And finally, out of which only balance column will be posted, will be printed in the output. So this is a tree which we are forming for this relational algebra. expression. With the help of this, we can decide what operations can be performed simultaneously, or which can be merged together, which can be skipped, or unnecessary operations. So we need to convert every relational algebra expression into a parse tree or into a tree, and then we are going to annotate that query tree. So at this particular moment, you need to use this index. So when you retrieve account, there is no need to use the index, but when you are talking about balance is less than you will have to use the we are the balance on my addition and uh, extract that row for our purpose. So this way we can make a valuation plan. Now, when you try to optimize a query, there are few things you'll have to definitely take into consideration. You must predict the cost of execution plan. What this cost may include? What do you mean by cost of execution plan? Cost of executing a query. Okay, cost of executing a query means it will be measured by CPU time, how much CPU time you are consuming, number of disk block reads, and the network communication if in case the data is distributed or data you are asking from some other location. Okay, so CPU time, number of disk block reads, and network communication, and also sometimes if your query is writing back something, then that will even be costlier. Reading operation is comparatively cheaper, but writing part, when you try to write something, when you are trying to modify something in a database, that is called as writing part. Writing part is little costlier. Okay, you must have this understanding from FSDP that when in a file system, writing operation or update operation is a little expensive. So you must predict the price cost of here. So here the list cost is CPU time, then the disk read time, and then the network time. Now understand, when network is involved, CPU time becomes negligible. When network is involved, CPU time becomes negligible. Okay, but the disk read and the buffer space is the major factor which will cost you the most. Okay, so you need to take care, means when the query, you need to decide whether the query is working on the local system or on a distributed system. Distributed system is when more number of nodes from different geographical position gets involved by with the help of a network. At that time we say that it is a distributed system. So in that distributed system, when the distributed system is there, CPU time has become negligible. When it is not a distributed system, when it is a local system, at that time CPU time is considerable, but more concentration is given on the number of blocks read. These blocks may be read from the primary memory or a secondary memory. Secondary memory generally we don't bother. From the primary memory or from the buffer. So how much buffer space you are consuming plays a very important role in the cost of execution plan. That's why I am saying that is use nested queries instead of Cartesian product. Means instead of listing out the number of relations in from clause, better you use the nested queries. Because what will happen in the from clause, Cartesian product is going to be formed. And this Cartesian product will be formed first, and then only the other conditions will be applied on that. So that huge table which is formed because of Cartesian product will reside in the buffer till that time. And of course, you'll have to read more number of blocks. Whereas if condition will be applied. So that leads to lesser consumption of buffer space as well as lesser number of blocks to be read. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So thus you need to take care about these three cost factors while optimizing the query. Okay. So we need to save the CPU time, we need to save number of blocks read by saving the buffer space and the reading values, and also the network cost if it is in the case of distributed APIs. So use statistics found in the catalog to help predict the work required to evaluate the query. So that's why we are maintaining a metadata or statistical data about the data. That will help you, that will tell you which relation has how many tuples, which operation is going to consume more time, and all this kind of, or from where you'll have to fetch the data if it is a distributed system. All these things will be told, will be informed to you through that statistics of the data. So what are the measures of query cost? Again, the same thing. The cost involved in the executing query can be measured by considering the number of different resources that are listed below. Our first is the number of disk accesses, number of disk block transfers, and the size of table. These three things are consuming. If you are accessing means more number of disk accesses, more consumption of CPU time. More number of disk block transfer means more number of transaction time as well as network time consumption. And bigger the size of table means more amount of buffer is consumed. Okay, that and time taken by the CPU for executing query. So, but if I am talking about the disk access time, transfer time, as and the buffer consumption, the CPU time is very negligible. The CPU comparatively is very fast. CPU is comparatively very fast, and generally that becomes negligible when we are talking about rest of the cost. The CPU is going to be in continuous execution, and most of the time it will be parallel processing or it will be a threaded environment. So if not one thread is working, it is going to have operate on some other one. Yes, Akshay, you wish to ask something?
No, sir. No, that one accept.
Okay. Technically, if we consider also, first one is the rotational latency, time taken to bring and spin the data, spin the required data under the read-write head of the disk. So do I really need to tell you how this is read? You know that there will be a cursor, there will be a circular disk, or the disk will be in circular format, and it will be continuously rotating. And if you are asking some data, that location will be that head of the reading disk will be read-write head will be placed at that particular location. So first of all, that is called as a rotational latency. That is the time taken to bring the read-write head at that particular location where we are trying to from where we are trying to read the data. Then it also involves the seek time, which is it may be a huge cylinder or number of disk or array of disk. So seek the time taken to position that read-write head over the required track or cylinder is called as a seek time. Sequential IO, continuous blocks read करते जाना पड़ेगा हमें, और random IO where the blocks are not contiguous or some indexing is imposed on that. So all these times will be involved in a block transfer, and still we are not talking about the network time, which may be in the case of distributed network. So when networks get involved, that is the maximum time consumed. That is the maximum time consumed. So now we can be more accurate about the cost of data is the number of seek operations performed, how many operations will be performed to seek that data, then number of blocks read and number of blocks written back. So these are the three main operations which will be more accurate measures for measuring the cost of a query execution. So to get the final result, the query cost will be number of seek operation into average seek time plus number of blocks read into average transfer time for reading a block plus number of blocks written into average transfer time of the writing of the block. So this will be a query cost for you. Okay. This kind of problem may be asked as it is an objective examination. This kind of problem will be asked. So calculate the query cost for transfer for executing a query which has a to write with average time. You will have to apply this and you will have to find out that. Okay. Most of the time this will be in microseconds. That unit also you will have to take care. So some problem may be asked based on this kind of question. Okay. So this all about introductory discussion towards query processing. What are the operations involved and how this select operation, multiple operations, multiplication, that is Cartesian product operation and join operation are actually taken care in this. That we'll see in the next lecture. Okay. Thank you very much. If you have any doubts, you can ask, or this is all from my side. You can take. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.